Steve Robbins here. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys, quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. When someone asks for a small favor, it can seem like, well, a small favor. But small things add up. If I had $1 for every person who's downloaded a Get It Done Guy podcast, I would be making a superb living. Sadly, I can't afford a mansion, but I can afford a cardboard box. Not only does it protect me from the rain, it's surprisingly nutritious and high in fiber. Taking on too much can crush your life. In fact, just doing too much can make it really hard to appreciate anything about your daily life. When you're zooming through at 90 miles an hour, you don't get many chances to stop and smell the flowers. There's a simple rule for figuring out how much of your life is being sucked up by small things. It's called the 33 rule. 30 minutes a day equals 2.5 hours per work week. That's 10 hours per month or 120 hours per year, which is 3 work weeks. 30 minutes a day equals 3 weeks a year. If you wonder why you don't get more vacation time, it may be because you're spending way too much time doing the small stuff. Here are 6 tips to cut down on the small stuff and get back some of your me time. Tip number 1, beware of small, regular commitments. When someone asks you to take on a new commitment, estimate how much daily time it will take. If they want you to be steward of the break room every morning, and it takes you 15 minutes to replace the filter, scour the burner, throw away yesterday's garbage, and restock the coffee, that time adds up. If 30 minutes is 3 weeks a year, 15 minutes is 1.5 weeks a year. That one yes will cost you a week and a half of work time. If you're self-employed and a client asks for a small regular favor, the 33 rule may caution you that you're doing a week and a half's work for free. Tip number 2, use email judiciously. How much time do you spend on email each day? Just a guess. If you're like most people I know, the answer is anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 to 3 hours. I hate to break it to you, but for most of us, email is not productive. It's just communication. And it's communication about what we do. It isn't the doing. Check out my past episodes on keeping your inbox empty, email backlogs, writing good email subject lines, and simplifying your inboxes to find ways to save time with email. Those time savings add up. If you can save 30 minutes each day, you'll regain 3 weeks a year. Tip number 3 is to hammer meetings into submission. Meetings! I just love meetings! No, I don't. I hate meetings. But it's easy to say yes when someone invites you to a meeting. The meeting starts 10 minutes late because you're waiting for everyone to arrive, and then it runs over by 5 minutes. That's an extra 15 minutes that just got added to your schedule. Over the course of a year, that adds up to a week and a half of your precious, valuable life sacrificed to the soul-eating god of meetings. When you're running a meeting or you're invited to a meeting, don't say yes to an hour. Say yes only to a half-hour meeting or a 15-minute meeting. If you can save half an hour just once a week by cutting meetings short, that's 26 hours a year or half a week. If you need somewhere to get started, look closely at that stupid weekly status meeting that so often seems like a waste of time. Check out my episode on running a focused meeting to help your meetings fulfill their purpose. Tip number 4, know the true cost of interruptions. We all hate interruptions. They're annoying. And more often than not, their breath smells. Ick. But we deal with them because, after all, they're our coworkers, our customers, our suppliers, our boyfriend, girlfriend, spousal equivalent, husband, wife, or polyamorous family unit. So we let it go. Just this time. Just this time adds up. When you're interrupted, do not think, oh, this'll be a quick interruption. Think instead about how often you get interrupted. Is it 30 minutes a day? Now, when the evil forces of distraction descend to interrupt you, think, this is costing me 3 weeks of my life this year. Is this how I want to spend 3 weeks? Then deal appropriately. Just remember that when you throw things, grab the foam rubber stress ball, not the newly sharpened scissors. Read my article on how to handle interruptions for more time-saving tips. Tip number 5, don't pay the price of disorganization. Filing takes time. It's so much easier to put papers in a pile and let them sit there forever. After all, there's always a chance that elves will come by, collect the papers some evening, and file them for us. This might actually be a good strategy. If you rarely retrieve files, but you often create them, then it might be worth spending 30 minutes searching through your piles if you only do it once a month to save 5 minutes a day of filing stuff. On the other hand, if you rarely create files, but you often need to retrieve them, it makes more sense to spend a little time now filing to save the 15 minutes a day, 1.5 weeks a year, that you would otherwise spend searching for stuff that you need to retrieve. Use the 33 rules to decide whether your life will be better if you file more or less. If you need to file more, check out my episodes on coordinating your online and offline files, naming your files intelligently, more naming tips, and keeping your files looking neat. Tip number 6. Use the 33 rule for tracking your finances. When I first went into business for myself, my friend Shelley told me that I should hire a bookkeeper. Nonsense, I thought. I can enter transactions into QuickBooks myself. Who needs a bookkeeper for that? As time went on and I collected receipts, credit card statements, and bank statements, I noticed that they seemed to pile up remarkably quickly. I'd sigh and finally sit down and enter everything into QuickBooks. I was easily spending an hour and 15 minutes a week on average dealing with bookkeeping. And an hour and 15 minutes a week is 15 minutes a day or a week and a half a year. If I were spending that same time working with clients to help them build their businesses, I would make way more than enough to pay for that bookkeeper several times over. Little things do indeed add up. The 33 rule gives you a quick way to understand how little things add up to eat away at your life and your schedule. Start using it so that you can quickly assess the impact of what seems like small things and turn them into big things in your mind. Then you'll have the motivation and the rationale to say no that you need to say or to fix the problem that has seemed too small until now. This is Steve Robbins. Links to all of the episodes mentioned today are with this episode's transcript at getitdone.quickanddirtytips.com. I mentor successful business people in taking the next step in their career by identifying the skills needed to reach the next level and creating a development plan to get there. If you want to know more, visit steverrobbins.com. That's SteverRobbins.com. Work less, do more, and have a great life.